Here in Washington, D.C., and it was his call, along with that of Brother Darrell, that brought us to be together tonight in this location. And so we're grateful, and I want you to receive him to the podium with an appreciative round of applause. He is our brother, he is our friend, and he's our host tonight. He is Brother Edward Muhammad. Bring him on.
In the name of Allah, the beneficent and merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad is his messenger. I want to come to you all and say thank you very, very much for showing up today.
Thank you.
I just came up to say a few executive director welcoming remarks, then pass it back over to the capable host. But before I do, can we all stand and give yourselves a warm round of applause, give his heads a warm round of applause for Thank y'all so much. I gotta first announce these nerves so they can calm down a little bit, right? A lot of times I'd be remiss in doing that and I lose my place up on this mic. But we're not gonna do that tonight. What I wanted to do was to first let y'all know that my name is Brother Edward Tate, and I am the founder and executive director for the Message in the Music platform. The Message in the Music platform is a 501c3 organization that's dedicated to the liberation of black folks. We use music and performing arts to raise awareness around social issues. And we also teach, train, and recruit youth how to be positive change agents in the community. And so our purpose, as I just mentioned, is the liberation of black folks from the bondage of themselves and the bondage that white supremacy and slavery have placed us in. Come on. I want to first be not remiss and give honor to God through my mom.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Million Mack. Without her, without God, who came in the person of Master Muhammad, the Honorary Muhammad, and the Honorable Mr. Louis Farrakhan, we would not be here today. This whole platform is a, how can I say it, a representation of the inspiration of the most Honorable Mr. Farrakhan poured through me.
Go ahead, brother.
I don't sweat, I mean, naturally. Yeah. So, but at the same time, I want to welcome I want to thank the Message in the Music Planning Committee. Brother Darrell Muhammad, let's give him a warm round of applause. We want to give a special applause for Sister Lisa Muhammad. She's responsible for the report that you see all day out today. Sister Jacqueline, Sister Jacqueline, a warm round of applause. Sister Martina, Sister Martina, a warm round of applause. Brother Raymond Muhammad, because these are the souls and the spirits and the true-minded believers that brought this event to pass for you all to enjoy today. I don't have too many more comments to make. I just want to also recognize the Message in the Music artists. We have an outstanding program lined up for you today. We have outstanding speakers, we got good food, we got good music, and we also have outstanding performances that's going to be coming to you today as well. And I want to take this time to recognize these artists, because these artists have taken a position to use their God-given talent, you know what I'm saying, to raise awareness around social issues and address this whole, how can I say, epidemic around lyrical content where we're killing each other over lyrics. And so I want to recognize Ms. Yendi. Ms. Yendi, can you stand? think we got Onaj in the house. Onaj. Sir. We got Brother Daylon. He's going to be doing a performance for us today as well. Awesome. And so I just want to say these last few comments before I leave.
Yes, sir.
This event represents my heart and my soul as it relates to the love and appreciation that I can extend to these individuals on this day as today.
Yes, sir.
These folks have been very instrumental in my development. And I know you all feel the same way. You know, Brother Tim, to the Beverly. Wow. I mean, I was willing to go through any expense to honor these two.
Yeah.
Because I remember back in the early 80s, sitting in the study group. Sitting in the study group, and they're pouring into me as a young Muslim.
Yeah.
A baby Muslim. And they took the time, the patience, the tenderness, and the care to see after us when we first came into the mosque. We didn't know nothing about being no Muslim. We didn't know nothing about being no FOI. You know, but we had others that had experience that poured into us. Because see, mosque number 4 is a mighty mosque. You know, I mean, we have done the impossible. No one had executed the teachings or the instructions of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan better than the city of Washington, D.C. And so this meeting was called so that we can hopefully galvanize all that sleeping support that we got out there that needs to come back home and help Brother Kadir. All this fighting and feuding that's going on among us, it needs to stop. We need to stop acting immature and represent the maturity of the love that our leader represented for us. So we can solve the problems of our community and save these babies from dying. You know, so that's really what this is all about. When we thought about honoring Brother Tim, it was challenging for me because I'm like, how can I honor Brother Tim by himself? How can we do that? You know, because he did not accomplish all that we achieved during that era of greatness by himself. You know, we had strong soldiers around here. Brother Darrell, Brother Sharif, you know, Sister Bettina, Sister Bettina also, but Sister Leslie, she was here, a soldier MDT. You know, getting a black woman or like MDT in DC, proud to be an MDT. You know, so we had a DC pride that we walked around with as FOI and MGT in this city. And we need to get back to that. We really need to get back to that, family, and cut out all this petty argument, petty disagreements, this petty resentment. It has to stop. Because the entire time while we doing that, folks out there dying. And we was raised up as saviors for our community. And we need to get back to being about the work of being saviors. So I didn't really want to go there, but the Spirit took me there, you know. And so much more I want to say as it relates to this legacy of greatness. This legacy of greatness. The legacy of greatness has everything to do with where we've been. We got to take stock of where we at now and be reminded of what happened yesterday as an example of what we can do going forward. So I'm going to turn the mic back over to the capable hostess. I'm sweating. And we got a PowerPoint presentation that we want to get through tonight. But I want to thank y'all again for your time, your attention, and for coming out and supporting this event. Thank y'all so much, and assalamu alaikum. All right, you lay down the lawn, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right, praise God. We're about to get into it and make it happen. The program tonight is so good, it's so active, it's so chock full of action, you don't want to miss it. Now, there are a couple of ground rules that Brother Edwards would like for us to enforce. Number one, the first thing is required of you, have fun. Okay? Have fun. Relax, unwind, have a good time. That's the first thing. Oh, look, we're joined by so many people. There's Brother Cedric Muhammad, the political kingmaker from Ward 1 in Washington, D.C. Can't be nobody in D.C. without Cedric. Latrice, our healthcare professional du jour, and always interested in helping us. Sister Latrice, raise your hand. Praise you. And we'll be noticing you as we see you. But like I said, presbyopia is a heck of a thing. You know, it affects your vision when you get older. You can't see. But I want to make sure that everybody understands we have a great time happening tonight. Now, the next part of our program is very exciting as well. I'm going to direct your attention to this monitor here. And the brother who's going to present this program to us is our brother, Ernest Muhammad. You heard me introduce him before. But Brother Ernest, you have a video presentation about this honorary salute to FY Captain Timothy Muhammad. We'd like you to come forward at this time. Thank you, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Bring them on.
Bring them on.
But anyway, Assalamu alaikum. In the name of Allah, the beneficent, the merciful, I bear witness there is no God but Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad is the messenger, and I bear witness that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is thy servant. I'd like to greet my brothers and sisters in the greeting words of peace and paradise. Assalamu alaikum. Man, it's so good to see so many familiar faces. I'm going to share something before we get into the PowerPoint. Because when I see some of the faces here, I can remember meeting Brother Tim and Sister Beverly back in the day, in the early 80s. I came in 1981 as an 18-year-old. And I remember meeting some of you all in study groups. See, back in the day, we used to have study groups and we used to meet in people's homes. Some of you all remember. And Mars number 4 was, when I came, it was at the Phyllis Wheatley Y. 4th and Rhode Island Avenue. And you know, I came there to see the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. There was posters all over the city. I said, I got to go see Brother Farrakhan. So I get there, it's a torrential thunderstorm, like one of the worst ones I think I've seen in the District of Columbia. So I get in there, and I thought it was the minister wrong, man. I mean, he was just teaching. I said, I'm in the right place, at the right location. But I said, the minister picked up a little weight. But you know, I'm coming to find out it wasn't Brother Farrakhan. It was the East Coast Regional Minister at that time, Brother Abdul Kareem Muhammad, the general. Some of y'all know who he is, but I used to love the East Coast back then. I mean, I love it now. I love it today. I remember seeing the brother from Mars number 25, Brother Kadir don't know this. I admire New York and New Jersey and Philadelphia, top of the clock, and number 6 is Baltimore. You all don't know this, but Brother Akil Muhammad, he used to have a silver cat, Lincoln Town Car. And that town car used to be up and down the East Coast with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan in the back seat. And you know, before I continue with that, one thing about Brother Eric, the brother opened up in prayer, he has a mean right cross. How do I know this? Because Minister Farrakhan was speaking at Syracuse University. You all remember this, probably 1987, 88. And you know, we had a lot of demonstrators out there, hundreds and thousands, out there demonstrating against Brother Farrakhan. But one of the demonstrators happened to get a little too close to the minister's limousine that he was riding in. So Brother Eric, bang! He was on the ground, one blow. That's a soldier for Muhammad. I believe he got the name Muhammad behind that blow. You know what I'm saying? And look, I can go 8 o'clock. But look, we left the Phyllis Wheatley Y, and some of you all remember, we went to this little church. I think we were only there for like 3 weeks. It was I'll say it. It was a gay church. Remember? Y'all remember that? They didn't really like the philosophy that we were teaching them. So we left there, and then we went to 550 C Street, the Holiday Inn. And from the Holiday Inn, we moved closer, and we moved to the Howard Inn. which used to be called the Harambe House. Right near the Wonder Bread factory. Y'all remember that? Every time you come out the mosque, you'd be hungry. You was smelling that old white bread that they was cooking up there. And from there, we went to 1615 Kenworth Avenue. And I'm going to share one story before I start. You know, at one point, people will remember, we had a little store called the Tape Connection up on Georgia Avenue. And by God's grace and mercy, we were able to help a lot of people, a lot of our students. But let me share something with you. We were about to lose 1615 Kenworth Avenue. We had to get $40,000, and we ain't had but one day to get it. There used to be a man that used to come to the Tape Connection. And he looked as though he was homeless. He looked as though he was destitute. But whenever we needed money, this brother would come in with money and make a big, big order to keep the Tape Connection going. Well, on this particular day, this brother came in with a brown paper bag. And he handed it, I don't know if he handed it to Sharif or Theo, I don't know who he handed it to. Well, he handed it a paper bag to Brother Sharif, and he left. Now, we started counting the money. It came to $40,000 and 5 cents. That's a true story. And we never saw that man again. Never. We never came back to the Tape Connection. Be careful how you entertain strangers. You may be entertaining angels unaware. Okay, let me get started with this PowerPoint now. That was just a warm up for the PowerPoint. And look. You know, I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge my wife, 36 years. She's a policeman. Raise two waving hands. That's my wife. 36 years. She's been putting up with me. And really, all the men who salute your wives and your mothers that are here tonight, and the aunts and the sisters, because without you all, we couldn't do what we were blessed to accomplish. Because your mind is at ease when you can go out and do this work and know that the postman is not ringing twice. That you can go out and do this work and know that you have a virtuous woman at home. So let's give all these sisters a salute. You told me to take 20 minutes. But anyway, I got time constraints. But look. All right, the honorary salute is for Ann. It's supposed to be Ann. That was a typo on my part. Now you see Brother Tim there with his salute, flanked by Brother Mark, and another great trainer of men, Brother John X. Jeter. Now look, I don't know what you did tonight, but John, man, he used to bring it in FOI class. Now, this FOI class, so I can't get into it, sisters. But be advised, Brother John used to bring the thunder and the lightning. All right. Now, I had music tied to it, but we couldn't, but I'm going to make sure if anybody wants it to be available. Okay, let's get started. Now, look who we have here. Isn't that Brother Tim and Sister Beverly in the early days? You all can see it on the screen, right? Look at Brother Tim. GQ, James Bond. Tim Bond. You know what I'm saying? All right. And then Sister Beverly and Sister Nadia, their precious daughter. And look at Brother Tim. Look at it. Cold, man. Oh, you know what? Okay, we're going to stop right here for a second. And I think those are Brother Tim's brothers. The twins. That's Peter and Paul, right? And that's their daughter Nadia and Brother Tim. Let me tell you one thing about Brother Tim, man. This is a true story. Tim don't play either. Y'all know this, Brother Tim, he got some big hands. So let me tell you this, man. We were in Mayfair Mansions. Yeah, I'm going to bring it, Brother Tim. I'm going to bring it. We was in Mayfair Mansions. This Briscoe. And we went to a unit. It was myself, Brother Tim, and Miss Briscoe. And this guy, this brother, he was hollering and screaming, talking about what he ain't gonna do. Man, he was going off right loud. Tim just went up to him and just said, "Bye!" Man, he smacked him so hard after he finished. When Tim smacked him, he said, "Oh, yes, ma'am. What time would you like me to be there?" "Sir, I'll be there right on time. Thank you so very much. Have a great day. Bye-bye." Man, Tim not slapped some sense into him. And since it's past the statute of limitation, I can share that story with you. But some of the others are reading down to share tonight. You remember that, Brother Tim? Yeah, I remember. Man, I said I wouldn't do it, man. All right. Some more Brother Tim and their wonderful daughter, Nadia, who I remember as a little girl. They were raining and all of them. It's all about family. There's Kareem and Nadia and Brother Tim and the whole family. Some more of the family. All right. Mosque number 4 in Mayfair Mansion. Y'all remember that? Yes, sir. In April of 1988, the Muslims of Mosque number 4 invited, we started our patrols in Mayfair Mansion over in Northeast. So, look, I ain't got time to go all the way through it, but I'll read the captions. But if I see a story, I'm going to tell it. Mid-Atlantic Regional Minister at that time, Dr. Abdul Ali Muhammad, addressing the media in Mayfair Mansion. This was the day after the brother was slammed to the ground and he got a little righteous slam. And you see him flank in the behind, we call that brother the slam.
Oh, he slammed.
Brother Ron Muhammad. The slam. He not only slammed women, man, he picked up 2 men. Really? Because weird guy caught up in it too. All right, let's keep it going. More of us in Mayfair Mansions. That's Kimmy Gray, Betty Adams, and I forget the other lady that's in the middle, the center. And that's a press conference. You see the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Listen to Dr. Lim. I think he's bringing them on as he's about to address the residents of Mayfair Mansions. Okay, some more. I mean, I'm telling you, well, I'll keep on going, but this is another press meeting at Mayfair Mansions. There he is, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, who was Mayfair Mansions. None of what was accomplished could have been done without his guidance and blessing. We ain't just going there on our own. We're military. We move on instructions. So we couldn't go on to Mayfair unless we got an original salute from headquarters and say, go on and do it. But I know Brother Sharif at that time told us that the minister said we had to have a complete trust in Allah. And not no spook Allah, but Allah who came in the person of Master Prophet Muhammad. Okay. Let's keep going. Still torn. Now, this is the first time Honorable Mr. Louis Farrakhan addressed the residents of Mayfair Mansions. And we had a packed house in Mayfair Mansions. We were celebrating. You see the residents of Mayfair Mansions and Brother Ronald, that's what it's all about. It's our babies. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot more work to do because like the brother said, our people are still dying out here in the streets. So it's about these people here, our children. You know? All right. Media from all around the world came to Northeast D.C. They came from France. They came from Germany. It was media from everywhere that came to little old Mayfair Paradise Mansions. Okay. Muslims to the rescue. In August of 1989, members of Mosque number 4 were featured in Ebony magazine's War, the Drug Crisis. Now, you know the brother Napoleon, the Slammer, Brother Ronald, Brother Sharif, Brother Alfonso, Brother Henry, and Brother Greg. Is Greg here? Greg was something else. I tried to say, we were thumping one day, Oh yeah, we had to battle to establish ourselves in Mayfair, in Paradise, and some of the other places. There he is, the former Supreme Captain, Brother Abu Sharif Muhammad. Give him a round of applause. At that time, formerly Captain William Muhammad, pictured with Diane Briscoe, who was the property manager of Mayfair Mansions at that time. Is she in? They said she was coming. Miss Briscoe in? Might be. No, she's not here. All right. Oh, that's Brother Tim and me. Brother Ernest and Timothy Muhammad making the rounds. And that's Dr. Lee at the Abundant Life Clinic. But really, me and Brother Tim wasn't making no rounds. We just had to do it for the photograph, right, Brother Tim? And you see the big old walkie-talkies we had back there. Thank God for the digital advancement. Man, we things was big. And that's a phone I'm on. It's not even the radio. You remember the big old phones we had back in the day? All right, now, pictured to my left is Glenn French. He was the original property manager in Mayfair Mansions. He talked like this. I'm Glenn French. And that's Betty Adams. She was the tenant, wasn't she the tenant association president at that time? And look what she said. We had peace and serenity in one day that we hadn't had in 2 years. Now, when we went to Mayfair Mansion, I'd never seen anything like that before. We were pulling people out of attics, out the basements. I mean, there were so many drug transactions taking place. I never seen anything like it. It was like a grocery store for narcotics. But Allah blessed us. One with the right mindset. It wasn't like that the next day. One day. What? That's Brother Hamza Muhammad. Bring your Hamza's here. He was the member of the Metropolitan Police Department. But he was invaluable to us. And I know he and Brother Tim developed quite the relationship. Now, the owner of Mayfair Mansion, that's him right there, Arthur Reynolds. So he gave us the opportunity, and you know, I thank Allah for him. Okay, there's the mayor for life, very. This is after the renovations began in Mayfair Mansion. And look, there's Brother Nava down there, Brother, at that time, Brother Richard, with H.R. Crawford. H.R. Crawford. Sorry about that, y'all. That was just a slip. But he was a good man. You see, everybody came to Mayfair after it was safe. You know, after we got things established that everybody could come over there, do the press conference, and do what they wanted to do. Brother William and First Officer Timothy Muhammad meet with Lieutenant President Betty Adams, discussing strategy. And that's Charlene Drew Jarvis on the bottom right. She was a D.C. City Council person, councilwoman, addressing the audience at the grand reopening of Mayfair Mansions. Oh, Moscow Boy Clifton Terrace. And this is Brother Aleem addressing the media at Clifton Terrace. Let me tell you something about Clifton Terrace. Pound for pound, Clifton Terrace is one of the roughest places in the United States of America. It was rough. And let me tell you what I found out about Clifton Terrace. The reason it was so rough because of the leaders out there, the hustlers, their parents or grandparents were mostly former members of the Nation of Islam. And let me tell you something, there ain't nothing worse than a Muslim gone bad. Why? Because the Muslim doesn't fear anything but Allah. So we had to really establish ourselves. Brother Jesse, you over Clifton Terrace? And look, and we brought a brother from Chicago, Brother Charles Muhammad, who was the security head of the Salon restaurant. We brought him to D.C. for some training. And look, this is a true story. He told me this. He said, Brother Ernest, I've been hustling for all my life. Said I ain't never been afraid of nothing in my life. He said, but when you left me in that booth at Clifton Terrace, he said it's the first time that his heart was palpitating. That's how bad it was over at Clifton Terrace. But Allah blessed us to do a good job and be effective. All right, let's do it. Once again in 1990, under the guidance and direction of Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, March number 4 fielded its first candidates for political offices. Dr. Abdul Ali Muhammad was running for Congress. Brother Attorney George X. Kuhl, now Abdul Arif Muhammad, was running for D.C. delegate. And Brother Sean X. Rakim Muhammad, now, wave your hand, Brother Sean, was running for the school board. For first, the nation of Islam. And look, that's Dr. Lim addressing the media, but down at the bottom right, that's Brother R addressing Joe Johns. Joe Johns was the reporter that got a little messed up in Mayfair Mansions. He got pushed over, you know, and the camera was accidentally taken from him. But that's Joe Johns right there, from Channel 4 News. We must first be brothers. That's what it's all about. That's what the messenger told us, that we must first be brothers. And in this picture right there is a whole bunch of history. Brother Jackson Muhammad, Brother Timothy Muhammad, Brother Anthony Muhammad, Brother Abdul Ali Muhammad, Brother Kadir. Behind Brother Tim, isn't that Brother Nelson? That's right, from number 7, Brother Nelson. May Allah be pleased, may Allah be pleased. What is that? And Brother Lance, yes sir. Dayton, Ohio. And this is old number 4. This is at the Howard Inn. Yeah, if y'all see Brother Ronnie and Brother William, Brother Arthur, and look, in the little tan suit with the burgundy tie, I think that's Brother Henry. Is that you, Brother Henry? Yeah, that's you, Brother Henry. That's you at the Howard Inn. That's right. And this is us in 1615. And you know, many of these soldiers in this photograph are gone. You know, have transitioned. Brother Yahya, Brother James F. Brother Larry, Brother Joseph, Brother William, Brother Will Reese, beautiful brothers. They helped us establish number 4. Brother Benjamin, that's right, who was taught by Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And Honorable Elijah Muhammad actually lived in his home for many years. And look, Brother James F. was the first person, he was a carpenter, to lay a brick on March number 4 on New Jersey Avenue. Wow. That's right. And that was the first large building from the ground up by the nation of Islam.
So who that's the far right? Who that's the far right?
On my far right or your far right? My far right.
Brother Mark.
Brother Mark.
There in the front.
I know that's Brother Mark. Where's Brother Mark? Mark, there he is. Oh, man, where that brother? He thought I was so crazy back in the day. Oh, but he's coming up more in the presentation, doesn't he? Some more, number 4. Some of you all remember these brothers. Brother Ward, Brother Rakim, Brother Shaheed, Brother Sharif, Brother Darrell, Brother Anthony, Brother William, Brother Eric, and may Allah be pleased with him, Brother John Foyes. Brother John, he had a nice right cross too. Oh Lord, I got hurry. Okay. All right, everybody. I'm just had to run it through. Some more, number 4. We must be brothers and sisters. May Allah be pleased with our Sister Christy, and Sister Sharifa. White uniforms, I'm leaving it there. I'm leaving it there. Uniforms a little tight, but it's number 4. Let's keep on going. This is number 4. Oh, I think this is relatively 1615. Yeah, this is 1615. We must first be brothers. This is in Atlanta, number 15. I think that's Brother Sharif. At that time, he was the Supreme Captain. See Brother Curtis, Brother Tim. That's number 15, Atlanta, Georgia. All right, this is in 2000. We're getting ready for the Million Family March. And that was the headquarters right there, Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity. No, that's 2000. It's supposed to say the Million Family March. Look, hey, hold up. Brother, I know put it together. This is 2000. We had Phi Beta in 2000 and we had it in 1995. This is the Million Man March from the steps of the Capitol. You see Brother Tim in front of Brother Sharif. And we're on the steps of the Capitol. And this is 20 years later. Myself and the Supreme Cabinet, Brother Lucifer, Brother Sharif, Brother Dennis, and Brother Keel, 20 years at the 20th anniversary of the Million Man March. What? March number 4, that's right. Y'all don't remember Brother Anthony was a DI man. That's right. He helped train the DI. But Brother Anthony used to call it, man. He used to sing it. He used to sing the cadence, man. That's right, he's in Memphis now. But that's the FOI doing what they do. Look at Jamil. You see Jamil? Oh, Jamil can drill. That's the exercise of the gods. We all can drill. What? That's the number 4. They drill it again. Brother, thank Allah for progress over some leadership. Let me hurry up. There's Brother Amin, Brother Maurice, I believe Brother Tim was giving the dope buster lapel pin at that time.
Yes, sir.
There's Brother Ronald and Brother Mark. There he is. Brother Edwin and Brother William getting their lapel pin. He didn't have a lapel right there. At the Final Call Administration Building, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan declares that due to his bravery, William 7X was now William Muhammad. Look at little William. Brother Darrell, Brother Tim, Brother Anthony, and Brother, at that time, Brother Richard Muhammad now. We must be first. You know what? We must first be brothers and sisters.
Right.
I'm gonna just keep it going. More memories. Brother Amin Muhammad, my first lieutenant. Man, I used to try and get away from Brother Amin when he's my lieutenant, man. He used to come to my job, man. He'd be waiting at the bottom of the steps. Come on, bro, you got to go soldier. At the bottom of the stairs, who does that? And I get home first. More memories. It's Brother Dimitri, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I got 30 seconds to wrap it up. Okay, all right. 30 seconds to wrap it up.
Yes.
Brother Tim on his bike, that's right. I didn't even know he was a ride. Okay. I thought it was Don D.C. Curry, the comedian. All right, keep going. I gotta keep going, y'all. Brother Tim, Brother Juan. All right. NOI security came out of the dope buses at March 24. Brother Henry and Brother Tim. And that's pretty much it, everybody. I thank Allah. I thank Allah for you all.
Man, we went down memory lane for real, didn't we?
Yes, sir.
Don't let me get these foots to hit some rhythms and drum rolls, because he'll do it. I'm looking at the sheet here. I want to make sure we're on time. And so far, we have not deviated very far from the time. I mean, one presentation went a little over, but we're okay. No. Brother, that was necessary. Now, let's give Brother Ernest another round of applause. Wonderful presentation. Now, right here, we're scheduled to have an interlude of entertainment, during which the food will be served.
I feel dear and very close to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan because he is very close with my pastor, Reverend Willie F. Wilson. So to hear some of the things that I heard tonight, I just brought back some memories, because if you were brought up in DC, then you know for sure that you were directly affected and directly rewarded by the works and the tireless patience of the nation, along with extending their hands to our brothers and sisters at our Union Temple as well, and just in our community. We just thank you for all of the work that you've done. And thank you so much for Brother Timothy and his wife, Miss Beverly. You know, it takes a lot to be honored. So you had to do a whole lot of work, and we thank you for your work, and we thank you for your patience, and we thank you for your leadership to even be honored tonight. So hopefully tonight we can bring some energy up in here as well and keep this energy flowing, because the energy is beautiful to see everybody back together again. We got a lot of leaders, a lot of heroes in here. thank you. Once again, these songs too were kind of handpicked too. Brother Tate had a little hand in some of these songs. So I hope that we all are touched, and I hope that we all are moved tonight. Just in the movement by itself, just that we are all here, we all united. And one of the things that Brother Tate said tonight is this, like, just stopping the separation, stopping all of that, you know. We are all one, you know. We got to work to do the same thing. We want all of this to be a united situation. We want our communities to be clean. We want our young men and our young women to live. So let's extend the work. I'm ready, if you're ready.
We are one. That work.
Again, I can't say how much of a blessing it is for us to be here, entertaining you guys tonight and being a part of Message in the Music. And we just want to say once again, thank you so much to Brother Tate for his vision. Thank you for believing in us. And we hope that we are representing Message in the Music to its fullest, and we will continue to do outside of the walls of this event tonight. So hope you guys are enjoying the food, enjoying the event, enjoying our honorees, Mr. Timothy, Brother Timothy and Sister Beverly. Thank you so much. I'm so glad. I've been to
But brothers and sisters, these speakers I want to bring to you this time, very important in our nation, very important in our lives and in our city. First, all the way from Chicago, Illinois, where he resides today and serves as the editor-in-chief of the Final Call newspaper. A very difficult endeavor and a job worthy of a man of greatness, and he is a man of greatness. Born in Baltimore, Maryland, became a member of the Nation of Islam right here at Mosque number 4 in Washington, D.C., and has gone on to do great things, but not until he first passed that rite of passage in D.C. You got to be able to thump to do something here. You got to throw them things. And he's a brother that's not afraid to throw them things. So we bring him forward at this time, our brother, editor-in-chief and a soldier in the Nation of Islam, my brother and yours, brother Nabab Muhammad. Let's bring him.
Assalamu alaikum. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness there is no God but Allah. I bear witness that Muhammad is his messenger. And we thank Allah for raising the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and leaving with us one in our midst that we are bound to obey if we hope to be successful in this dark hour and in this dangerous time. But the more we submit to Allah and His servant, the less dangerous the time becomes. Because this is the time of our salvation and the time of our rise. So I would like to greet all of you with the greeting words of peace. Assalamu alaikum. First of all, brothers and sisters, thank you all for your warm reception of me. I'm almost overwhelmed by seeing so many brothers and sisters. So we thank the sisters that are serving, and we believe that they cook, but thank them. I want to thank my Sister Patricia, for always being with me, supporting me, and she tried to get me here on time. But by grace, by the time we got here, the program hadn't started. My Sister Patricia Pace. And I want to thank someone who's so special to me, man, and that's Mother Minerva. I really don't have the time to say how beautiful it was. At 1645 East Kenilworth Avenue, a humble building with a great purpose and great believers devoted to the cause of Allah. To go there to hear her voice, to enjoy her being suit and robes, but her spirit and her stories and her legacy. It was beautiful. So I was trying to figure out what to say, but I think, sometimes if you listen, that God will give you what you need. And that sister that sang, that first song, The Wind Beneath My Wings, and the second song, We Are One. I think those two things really define what legacy is much better than the definition that I have here. Because this says legacy, one meaning related to, or we're going to skip that. Basically it says something that's handed down from one person, one generation to another. But when we think of legacy, we think more than something that is simply laid down. We think of something that is so valuable that it must be preserved and it must be continued. It cannot be allowed to die. And in Islam, when we hear about greatness, we know that Allah is great and He shares His greatness with us. But when we speak of greatness in Islam and in the service of Islam, it is their greatness in the cause of the one God, and in particular in this day, the delivering of the suffering people. And so it is not the greatness of an individual. It is the great service of an individual that makes them great, because the best that we can hope for is to be Muslims. The best that we can hope for is to be divine servants in the work of the one that has assured us that we would be successful. So Brother Jamil, give me the 30-second time because I'm not going over. I just want to say to Brother Tim and Sister Beverly, and you really can't say one without the other. I don't think y'all heard me. I want to thank Brother Tim and Sister Beverly, but you cannot say one without the other. They are an example of a true marriage, of a true partnership, of what Islam does when it brings two believers together and they are able to withstand the storm. But their love cemented by their belief, their faith and their action. So I'm sorry, I know you all refer to Brother Tim as Brother Captain, which I certainly give him all of that respect and more. I had left D.C. by the time he was elevated to that position. But when I was here, he was my first officer. A soldier has never had a better first officer. Because he served the men. He never gave us anything other than an example of what we should be.
That's right.
He was the first one in and the last one out.
Yes, sir.
He made no excuses. He blamed no one. But he had love and compassion for the soldiers under him. And that is what by Allah's grace has gathered us here. I came in the nation in 1986.
Wow.
It's almost been, it'll be 36 years in December. Other of us pretty much the same time or more. So why do we gather to salute this man and we must salute his wife? It is because he has given us an example. He has given us a model. He has given us a legacy. He has shown us greatness, and the greatness of his commitment and his service, a commitment and that is needed today, perhaps like never before.
That's right.
So Brother Tim, I'm glad to be part of your legacy. Each of us to hold a piece of it. Brother Edward and Brother Darrell pulling this together. Brother Edward with his organization. For the Muslims that were here under Brother Tim as captain or first officer, would you raise your hands if you are a business person, if you are an entrepreneur, if you are associated with any organization of leadership or service? Look around the room. Because this is what greatness and legacy means. It is a continuation and a development as we move to a purpose. Thank you. Last thing, Big Brother Ronald, affectionately known as the Bible Slammer. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum.
I know our first time guests are like, ooh, they people on fire. And it's true. All Muslims, all you need is a little bit of Islam and you can just turn things around wherever you are. Last week in the nursery school where my granddaughter was, they asked her, did she want peaches or pineapples in the fruit cup? She stood up and said, in the name of the Lord. That's what make that deep. Peaches or pineapples, which one is it? Grace, all right? We have another speaker coming now to give us more of the wonderful spirit. And my brother, I want to ask you to come and make your way to the stage right now. And he is a legend in this city because he's a product of our city. He's our brother and he's as natural to the streets and the sweets of Washington as anybody else and anything else. If you believe in Rock Creek soda, and you know that from Washington, then you know this brother's from Washington. He's a retired and emeritus officer, not just an officer in the ranks. I'm not talking about a patrolman, but I'm talking about leading commander of the Metropolitan Police Department. He is our brother, he is our friend, and the one that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan gave the name Hamza. I want you to look that up. That's one of the mighty warriors in the history of the righteous, Hamza. So would you join me in welcoming our brother, Lowell Hamza Duckett, to the podium at this time. Thank you.
Praise the Lord, everybody. Being a minister at a Bible Way Church of the Lord Jesus Christ, they confined me to 3 minutes. That's impossible. I'm holiness. I am not going to be confined to 3 minutes. Now, the last time I checked, I was bench pressing 450. So if you try to sit me down, it's going to be problems. First, I'd like to start off. Did y'all see these beautiful pictures of these brothers? Yeah. If you notice, all of them were taken back in Mayfair. But they put my picture up on my 75th birthday. I want to show you what I look like back then. Go ahead. I want you. That's what I look like. Go ahead. Come on now. Still, man. I just want to start off with that. First, giving honor and glory to my God, our God, the only one God. Giving praise to Minister Farrakhan for all the good he's done for me. And this brother over here. I never would have known about y'all until such time as he introduced me to y'all. First, when the minister was coming back on the scene to rebuild the nation, one of the first churches he spoke at in Washington, D.C. was Bible Way. Bible Way. The late Bishop Williams called me in. At that time, I was the pastor of the youth at Bible Way from 5 up to 25. And he called me in and said, well, they want to speak at the church. It's okay, but I want you to be liaison with the nation. I said, sir, he said, be liaison with the nation. When the minister gave me the Muslim name, Hamza, I got another phone call. I didn't tell you to be converted. I got to know Captain Tim, Sharif, Minister Sean, the day before they moved on Mayfair. I looked at an old clip of the late Chief of Police Maurice Turner, and Dr. Lean was talking about police corruption. Go ahead. And the chief knew there was police corruption in the 6th district. When I went up there that night and I talked to Brother Tim and Sharif, I don't think I met you the first night, Sean. No, I didn't meet you the first night. We talked all night, and I went straight back to work. And I made up my mind then, when they made their move, I was going to get some brothers together in the Black Police Association. We was going up there. Go ahead, man. Not that they couldn't deal with the dope boys, to make sure they didn't have to deal with no corrupt police. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead. So we went up there. Lo and behold, I get to my office the next day. I'm the commander of specialized training for the whole police department. Come on. All firearms training, all SWAT training, all weapons have to come through me. I was changing everything so to benefit black folk. The phone says you're being transferred to where? The 6th district. Since you like it up there so much, we're going to send you up there. Fine. That's like saying, Brer Rabbit, don't throw me in the thicket. Go ahead, man. The first day I got there, I took over the drug unit. Half of the unit wanted to leave. I want that to sink in. Half of the unit wanted to leave. I said, good, they ain't no need for y'all to stay here, because I'm getting ready to lock half of y'all up. Pack your bags and go. The commander, the late Jimmy Wilson, let them go. The new guys that came up hadn't been touched by corruption. Go ahead, sir. From that offspring, we started to have brothers from the nation to come over and speak to police officers in the district. And here's my witness. We had white officers stand up and said, I'm a racist and I need help. We had them crying, I'm a racist and I need help, I'm mentally disturbed. And there's my witness right there. We had prayer, these brothers. Out of that group, 2 of them became chief of police. Go ahead, sir. I want that to sink in. When you bring righteousness in any environment, it's going to get cleaned up. Go ahead. But there, and I hope Kyrie, if you watch me, I can give you a little heart on what you're going to go through.
Go ahead. Come on.
When you stand up for God, not yourself, but for God, Satan is going to put a whipping on you. The question is, can you take it? But with the help of Almighty Allah, you can. The harder it beats you, the louder you cry out, God is great. Within 3 days, I went through the chief telling me, you're under 3 grand jury investigations. Not 1, not 2, but 3. I said, Chief, what did I do? We got you for assault with intent to kill. I want that to sink in, assault with intent to kill.
Come on now.
Imagine you in Chicago with Mosque Marion and somebody walked into the mosque and said, I'm going to kill Farrakhan. What would y'all do? What would y'all do? What would you do? This brother came into my church on a Sunday saying he's going to kill my pastor. I asked God for all the strength that he had and every energy he had. I didn't kill him.
Go ahead.
But he wished he was dead. All of that martial arts went loose Sunday morning. The deacon board prayed for him. The missionaries prayed for him. And then I climbed back up into the pulpit. Okay, you got me with that one, Chief. You got me. You got me. The second one, grand jury, was excessive use of force. I said, Chief, why? I understand you went up at 58th East Capitol Street and got into a fight with 3 youngins. Oh yeah, Chief, I did that. You got it. They were robbing senior citizens, taking their money. These guys were World War II veterans with cataracts and canes. And I asked them if they want to rob somebody, rob me. I had $100 in my pocket. If you can beat me, you can keep my money.
Go ahead.
Now, I'm being honest. I left them there. I didn't lock them up.
Go ahead.
It was a fair fight.
Go ahead.
And I left them there.
Go ahead, man.
It wasn't fair.
Go ahead, man.
Then came the third. I was accused of jumping out the bushes at the training academy and attacking a female officer. I said, now, Chief, you know I didn't do that. I couldn't do that. I don't believe in that.
Go ahead.
Put my hands on a woman.
Go ahead.
I said, let's break off the conversation right here. Do what you want to do. They transferred me again out of the 6th district in the middle of the night up to the 4th district. Georgia. I had about 8 hours sleep. It was pitiful that night. I looked, I walked in, they had police officers in there with tennis shoes on and flip-flops. I sent everybody home. Y'all going home, going home. Got the day work crew coming early. Because I had gotten that holy name from Mr. Farrakhan, and it was sprayed throughout the city and he came to my home, my wife at that time said she was leaving. She wasn't going to be a Muslim. I said, you can leave, but the kids stay.
Go ahead.
So God has something better for me. And my better is here tonight. I'm getting married next Saturday. I'm like anybody else. I want to be successful. God has blessed me. When the Dope Busters started, the security organization, I started a security company, and we've been in business now for 25 years.
Go ahead.
And we have close to 300 employees.
Go ahead.
But while I was going through all of this brother would call, hey man, you all right? I wasn't all right. I wasn't all right. I'm spending money with attorneys, and thank God I had a friend of mine named Ted Williams. We were detectives together. He was helping me out. And I knew I wasn't guilty of anything, but you just gotta go through it.
Right.
He would say, man, you all right? I said, nah. And he would invite me to come to the mosque for drill and whatnot. And Brother Darrell, forgive me. I am the worst driller they ever had. And he would say, no, right to the left, to the British hand salute. And they'd be going to the right, I'd be going to the left. And the young brothers used to get mad because I knocked them down. And they used to say, man, y'all get this old man out of ranks, man. Brother Tim was very patient with me, very loving and very kind. And always give me kind words. I didn't know, at Bible Way, we greet everyone with a handshake like this, and we kiss them on the side of the face. And the sisters in the mosque would come up, and I'd get ready to, no, don't do that, man. Don't kiss these sisters. So we started like that, and one brother started, so I got into a karate stand. I said, man, you put your hands on me. Brother Tim said, no, y'all be patient with the brother. Be patient with the brother. But I learned a lot. I learned a lot about loving. I learned a lot about caring. I learned a lot about you by the way you treat Sister Beverly. And you don't know people watching you when they are watching. Is this the kind of brother that I want to be? Or is this the kind of brother I need to be? And I found that I needed to be. I love you, brother. You got to forgive me now. Do not let your kids box and play football at the same time. This is what happened to me. The frontal lobe damage is terrible. But I want to give you this out of love. Assalamu alaikum, everybody.
That's it. Sister Beverly loves to just say anything. She says it. But this is the love of God that He's creating among us if we'll allow Him to do it. One of the first and chief hallmarks of an obedient servant of God is that they, here I am tonight, mind the time. Okay. Yeah, I'll do that in that, slid it in there nice and easy, but we're going to these 3-minute limits. Brother Hamza, I thank Allah for you, brother, and for your spirit. And thanks for admitting about the drill, because there was trouble. Word spread around the nation. Good brother, bad brother. It's really. But we're very, very happy tonight to bring our next speaker to you because he involves himself to this day in the work that he began dedicating himself to approximately 40 years ago. Many of us can't do nothing for 40 days. 40 weeks is hard. 40 months? Come and repo the car. I know it said 48, take it. But 40 years, that means you dedicated. This man is a dedicated soldier in the FOI. I want you to join me in welcoming Brother Henry Muhammad to the
Assalamu alaikum. Name of Allah, the beneficent, the merciful. I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is His messenger. I would like to greet all the guests, brothers and sisters, in the nation with the peace. Assalamu alaikum. First, I'm going to start off by saying I want to thank the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, all of the laborers in the Mid-Atlantic region, Brother Aaron, Brother Kadir Muhammad, and Sister Sadaka, for just to let me, for letting me serve throughout the years here in D.C. So I'm going to just start off with just a little summary of how I met Brother Tim.
Come on.
But we worked real close together through the years before he left D.C. Now, we had, a squad in the mosque. Brother Sharif, Brother Abdul Sharif, before he became a lieutenant, he was traveling around the world with the minister. But he decided, hey, I'm going to pump this thing up in D.C. a little bit. He came off the road for a while and he became a lieutenant. Y'all didn't know that, did you? He used to be a lieutenant. And he started a squad called the Crack Squad. Not that kind of crack. You're right. But it was crack. Yeah, it was crack. I'm going to get to Darryl in a minute. You look at that. It was crack. And it started off real small. Basically, he was dealing with brothers that nobody wanted, really. He picked them out. That's right. But he came to me. He first came to me. He said, whose squad you in? Whose squad you in, brother? I said, well, I'm not in nobody's squad. He said, you in mine. And he got Brother Nava. Where's Brother Nava? That's how he got him. Well, you just stand on the wall, right? Nobody paying you no attention. Pull you off the wall and put you on the list. You in my squad. Anyway, I'm going to be fast. I don't want to take long. It came from the crack squad And it became known later as the God Squad. And it got so big, it was the biggest squad in the Mars. It's like he almost assumed all the brothers that were in the Mars. He had other lieutenants, but their squad was stretched out so big, he just had to break it in half. So he said, Brother Tim, you take half of them. Brother Henry, you take the other half. So we were lieutenants. So now we're lieutenants. He got his squad, I have mine. Because Darryl had a squad. And a few other lieutenants, they had a squad, but our squad was moving out so fast that now he said, no, they broke the squad in half. So now we need squad leaders for these squads. To fast forward a little bit, he was a lieutenant, now he becomes the captain of the Mars. That's to move forward. He becomes the captain. So now, Brother Tim becomes, he needs the first officer. So Brother Tim becomes his first officer. So, you know, the way I operate, you normally had to get behind me like just a push. You're gonna be a lieutenant. Boom! We had no choice. We couldn't say, no, that's what you're gonna be. So, he's the first officer there. So now he said, Brother Captain Sharif said, well, Tim said, you've been waiting a long time. He said, you got to go second officer again. Well, Tim kept messing around. He kept hitting Brother Tim. But Tim, where you first officer, man? I mean, you're second officer. You're first. But Tim said, I don't know. Man, you got Brother Darryl. You got Brother Henry. Darryl was a lieutenant too. Me and Darryl just had a conversation a while ago. I was telling him, this is true. You go around the nation right now, yes, sir. You see some young lieutenants, but you hardly ever see one that's 18, 19 years old. Go ahead, man. I'm almost 20 years older than Brother Darryl. Brother Darryl was a lieutenant when he was like 18. Go ahead. Strong lieutenant, 18 years old, right out of high school. And he was pumping, had men on him. 10 or 12 men on him. I'm just trying to tell you how that machine was put together. That was in D.C.
Talk about that machine.
So Brother Darryl, being the man that he is, he's young, I'm 35, he aggressive, and then I gotta keep up with him. He pumping. And we had what you call it, righteous competition. Man, I couldn't show it though, Every time Darryl would do something, whatever be paper or what, I would go somewhere and be like this. What am I gonna do? But I gotta get that. But I would always bustle up. But what I'm trying to say is, when you moving, and you got somebody behind you like that helps to drive. Right. You know, in some cases, people would get envy, jealous, and all that. But we didn't do that. We always righteous competition. That's all that does. Causing me to move. That's right. But anyway, he picked me as the second officer, and he said why he did it. And the words he used was, he figured I was a little more mature than Darryl. I was young. He shook his head, so I must be right, right? He was young, but he was a lieutenant. He was young, rough. But anyway, I'm gonna just make it short. I don't want to take up all of your time. I'm just showing you how close, how tight Brother Tim and I were. Because we got a lot of work done in D.C. Yes, sir. Before we could go into Mayfair, we didn't just rush in. We was training spiritually, mentally, all kind of ways before we went in Mayfield. That's why we made it successful. Before I go, I'll just tell you a little bit about Brother Tim's a saying he always had. When he was at FY class, before we leave, he would always say about the word.
Go ahead.
He just said, word. It's not the word.
Go ahead.
It's the attitude that you have towards it. Thank you for listening. Assalamu alaikum.
As we move the program forward and as you enjoy, everybody all right?
Yes, sir.
Everybody okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, good. We're going to bring our next speaker, and it will be a rare and pleasant delight for her to come forward at this time. She is a trainer, as we said in our initial introduction of her, a trainer of officially all the women in the state of Maryland from her office there at Mosque number 6 in Baltimore. But she's known all over the Nation of Islam as one of the foundational stones in the training of the young women's class in the Nation of Islam for women, I think, between 16 and 35. They call them the vanguard. If you ever hear that word being spoken by a black Muslim woman and you're not right, turn and run. Get little real quick because something about to happen to you. But we want to make sure we bring one of the great trainers and followers and helpers of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan's ranks. She's with us tonight, our sister student captain, Leslie Alakeem from Baltimore, Maryland.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, who came to us and for us, the person of Master Part1-An, and in the name of His exalted Christ Mahdi, Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and now exalted Christ, and in the name of their divine messenger, Messiah, our true friend and blessing in our midst, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, I'd like to greet you once again in the nation's greetings of peace and paradise. Assalamu alaikum. I thank Allah for being here. I thank Message in the Music for inviting me and thinking of me to come to this wonderful event this evening. I'd like to also thank my student national captain and regional captain and all of my beloved, beautiful MGT and GCC sisters in general whose shoulders that I stand on. Thank you, Sister Beverly. I really didn't know that I was going to have to speak, but this is a pleasant and wonderful surprise. I'm just so overwhelmed and thankful to be among my beautiful family this evening. I'd like to also thank my family, my daughter, Sister Layla, and my granddaughter, Sister Alea. Especially my daughter, through all the trials and all the work and all the soldiering that I've been through, she's been dragged right along with me. But I think it's a blessing for her. And I know that Allah is going to reward her and all of our children for the sacrifices that they have made on our behalf as we struggle hard to work in this endeavor of raising the dead, helping in this mission to raise the dead to life. Now, I don't have a wonderful story about, Brother Tim being in his squad or anything. But I do know that I love Brother Tim and Sister Beverly and their work, their hard work and example. And all of us were just blessed to be together and be loving in the mission and in the work. And for us, people used to say, well, what do you all do for fun? We look at each other like, this work is fun. Soldiering together, going out and running behind, up and down the highways and the byways behind the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan to help bring the message to our people is fun. It's exciting. It's a life-changing experience. And it gives you life. And it keeps you alive. And some people ask me, you still involved? How long you been? How long keep putting one foot in front of the other, trying to follow behind the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and do what he says do and go where he says go and stay from where he says stay from. And Allah has blessed me, and I pray that Allah continue to bless me to be steadfast and all of us to be steadfast, because it's a whole new world that he's bringing in for us and for our people. So we just need to hold on and help and do whatever we can to hold on, because the new world is coming in. But I do want to say that when we were in D.C., we weren't in Brother Tim's squad, but the sisters, and I have to pay homage to my sister and friend, Sister Sharifa Muhammad. May Allah forever be pleased with her. But, yes, praise be to Allah. We loved our soldiers, our brothers. We love the dope busters. We love the FOI. And we love the example of men that they stood up and gave us and showed us. And of course, we couldn't wait to follow behind them, jump in the cars and ride up and down the road and try to drill and do whatever we could to hang in there with these soldiers. So we would have skits. And of course, we would have skits on the stage and do all kinds of things. And of course, one time it was my turn to play Brother Tim. So I had to put on my suit, and I had to put on my hat, and I had to come out there with some long shoes on, you know. But I can say, may Allah bless you, Brother Tim and Sister Beverly, and it's been a joy to know you and be a part of your family, because we are all family. Yes. And so may Allah continue to bless you. Assalamu alaikum.
Y'all know we need to do better than that. Just the long shoes alone can work around. So family, we're about to switch it up and give you a little change of pace in the program tonight, but I'm glad you told me before this last speaker that you're doing all right, and we got some good news and some even better news. And before the night's over, we'll give you the best news of all. One of the points we want to call to your attention tonight, we've been joined by a brother that you saw featured extensively in the video presentation. He was the brother who got fed up and tired of people selling dope to children and women and making it unsafe for old folks in Mayfair Mansion. He was a brother that got sick and tired of being confronted with the threat of violence from people who had evil intentions toward our own families. So he didn't just take this weight on his shoulders psychologically,
That's right,
spiritually, or emotionally. No, he picked up two dudes
right.
and body slammed them. The body slammers here, Brother Ronald. Brother, stand up, Brother Ronald. That's a soldier you should know. Because he's a peaceful man, a loving man. Don't worry about the size of that fist. He's a loving man. Sister Carol, thank you so much, Brother Ronald, for being here tonight. I was watching a documentary the other day, and they talked about the size of Sonny Liston's fist. They said Sonny Liston's fist was 15 inches around. Can you imagine that? Well, Brother Ronald don't have to imagine that. He knows every day. So, y'all working through something. Something about to happen there. This next soldier I want to bring forward is a man of commitment himself. He is a face that you've seen throughout Washington for many years, because he's involved in moving the program and advancing the message of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Let's welcome at this time our Brother Ray Muhammad. Bring him forward.
In the name of Allah, the Most Merciful, I bear witness there is no God but Allah, who came to us in the person of Master Prophet Muhammad. I bear witness to Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad as the Lord of Christ Commodity. I bear witness to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, the divine Messiah walking amongst us. I greet my family, greeting words of peace. Assalamu alaikum. Oh man, yeah. I mean, I'm so honored to be here amongst my family.
Yes, sir.
You know, it's a blessing. I got to thank a lot, Brother Tim. You know, I was Brother Tim's first officer for a period of time. Brother Tim brought me up in his office and told me about being elevated to first officer. Brother Tim didn't even tell me what I'm going to do. You know what I'm saying? He made me walking through this post right there, you know what I'm saying? Like, God dang, man, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, it was an honor, it was a blessing, man, to be able to grow under his leadership. And I got to thank Minister Dan.
That's right.
Our leadership today. We got the right leadership.
That's right.
That's a sacrifice I don't know nothing about.
That's right.
So I'm grateful and thankful when I can be a one, you know what I'm saying? Brother Earl, Brother Steve, you know what I'm saying? To, you know what I'm saying? To witness it.
Yes, sir.
You know? And so it is time, you know what I'm saying, for us to, you know what I'm saying, just be strong together, work together,
Yes, sir.
be the family that we're supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? It is time, right? I love Brother Tim. And I got to thank Brother Henry. See, in order to get to Brother Tim, I had to come by Brother Henry. See, Brother Henry the one that raised me up. You know what I'm saying? When I came through the door, I was just a little boy walking amongst men. But Brother Henry raised me up and trained me. You know what I'm saying? He prepared me for Brother Tim. That I can stand with a man like that.
Yes, sir.
See, you just can't be weak to stand with a man like Brother Tim, right? You got to be ready to take it on. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thankful and grateful, right? You know what I'm saying, to be here. And I just want to say that it ain't over. It ain't over. So I read somewhere in the brightness of the day, by the brightness of the day, into the night when it's still. See, it made appear like ain't nothing moving. You know what I'm saying? It just appeared like that, right? But it says after that Allah has not forsaken us. And it said, surely your latter state will be better than your former. It ain't over with, Brother Turk. It ain't over with, Brother Jesse back. I walk with these men. I've been in the trenches with these men. I've been in the trenches. Come on. You know what I'm saying? I know what it is. Well, thank all y'all.
All praise is due to Allah. What you're witnessing here is experiential authenticity. You're listening to men tell their real experiences, to women tell their real experiences. And it's authentic. You have to understand, I want to just ask you to pause and look around the room right now at the other people here. You are involved in something that you might not understand the significance of. The plan of your enemy was that not any of you would ever rise into sufficient consciousness to raise yourself above the level of the beasts of the field. They wanted you to be a blind, deaf, and dumb so-called American Negro, ignorant to the knowledge of self, savage in your behavior, not long-lived and crazy with your activity and thoughts. They wanted you to be a nigger forever. But here you are tonight, celebrating life. Celebrating the word of God coming in the midst of the darkness, and it's sparking a growth of life in you and the community around you, that now you can see a better way. This means you escaped the enemy. You are the Harriet Tubman of your day. You are the Nat Turner of your day. You are the Denmark Vesey. You are the one who will lead the rebellion against that which was designed to oppress you. Don't be afraid of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. No. Don't be afraid of those who come in his stead to tell you the message, the good news. This means that we are at the hour of our deliverance. This means that we are in the day of our rescue. This means we pack up our stuff right there. Had 10 in that time. And I thank Allah that we can do what we need to do in the hour of our deliverance. The man I'm about to present to you now is another one of those flames of fire, emerging from the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad under the direction of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I mentioned earlier that he was the founding minister of Muhammad Mosque number 94 in Prince George's County, Maryland, a continuous activist in the community, a good friend to righteous people everywhere. If you don't see enough of him, you will soon. But I'm telling you right now, he's with us tonight, so hear him and welcome him, our brother student minister, Sean Muhammad. Bring him up.
In the most holy name of Allah, the beneficent and merciful, who came to us in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. We thank Allah for his divine blessings, many gifts, and leaving with us a divine leader, teacher, and guide, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. You and I today have to bear witness that the man who is in our midst today is not only a representative of power, but also a true representative of his leader and teacher. And I'm talking about the most honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. You all excuse me, I have congestion in my chest. But I greet you in the Greek words of peace. Assalamu alaikum. It's good to see you out here, brothers and sisters. I caught a chest cold out in the yard yesterday, so I'm kind of pushing. But I want to say thank you, I sure will. I want to thank Brother Darrell and our good brother. Where's Brother Edward for his kind invitation. I want to thank all of the brothers and sisters that I'm looking at today who I haven't seen in such a long time. I want to thank our local minister and captain, sister captain, Abdul Qadir Muhammad, our brother. Where's the sister captain? She's not okay. But I want to thank them. And most of all, we honor my captain and his lovely wife, Brother Tim, Brother Captain Tim, and Sister Beverly, my honor. I just want to share a couple of words about my captain. He was my captain. And we had a very, very interesting time together, to say the least. But I can say this honestly. Brother Captain Tim was very respectful. He was very responsive. Yes, sir. He was up front. He knew the situation I inherited behind Dr. Muhammad. And it was a very, very trying position I was in, right? But one thing that we did, Brother Captain, is we worked. We worked. And when I look back and I think about it, because I was thinking this morning and last night, what profound moments do we have? And when I think of Brother Tim, I think about those long nights in neighbors meetings. I mean, Sister Nisa, Tim, myself, Brother Derrickson, we were in there late at night, dealing with all kinds of issues. And we didn't leave until we covered and dotted every I and crossed every T. And that's the truth. That's the truth. At that time, that's when the drug situation was going on in D.C., raping evidence. The dope buses was going on. Just a lot of chaos. But that was an exciting time, Brother Captain. And I thank Allah for that time because I learned to really appreciate and value the believers. Because we would not have been able to be successful if it wasn't for the believers. A lot of the unsung brothers. Brother Ron, I thank Allah for you because when I was running for office, you were at my door faithfully every morning, picking me up at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning And he dropping me off at 11 o'clock at night. But we were working.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I can just recall everybody had something to do. And when lieutenants would come to Brother Tim or the soldiers would come to me and have suggestions, what we agreed to do was, okay, we were discussing among the laborers meetings, and if we agreed to it, we deputized that person with the idea, okay, then you're in charge of it. Come back and report it to us. And that's how we got a lot of things done. We did, we started the school, the University of Islam. We started that under Captain Tim. We got so many people in that building, I had to call the minister and ask him, you know, we're losing people because they will come and see the place full, they will walk back out. So he came up with the idea of us doing 2 mosque meetings a Sunday. Right. So we started having 2 mosque meetings a Sunday. And I remember proposing that to the believers. And I gave them a choice. And that was your idea. We gave them a choice. You can come to the 11 o'clock meeting, or you come to the 2 o'clock meeting. And you know, most of them came to the 11 o'clock meeting, right? They wanted to see the Redskins when they were winning. But it was nice. It was very nice, and we grew. And I thank Brother Captain Tim for that wonderful experience. We didn't agree on everything, but we worked in brotherhood. Yeah. We worked it out. Yeah. The other thing was this. Now, I'm going to say this because I don't think you remember this. Brother Tim one time came to me and said, brother, look, we got to get the black men in D.C. So I'm saying, well, we're recruiting, you know, no, you were saying, no, we need to have a men's only meeting for black men in D.C. Come on. And he gave me this piece of paper, and it had a message to the black men. Remember that? I still had that paper. Brother Tim came up with the idea of a men's only meeting, which eventually led to the Million March. So, take a seat. I'm taxed. But it's good to be before you, brothers and sisters. It's been quite a while for me to be before the believers and speaking. But I want to thank Allah for you. Yeah. When we talked about a legacy, personally, I had a beautiful legacy through my experiences in the Nation of Islam. My daughter had beautiful grandchildren. My son-in-law is a secretary of the mosque. And I had wonderful good memories, but also I have a belief in faith that I hold on to and I appreciate it. In terms of the city, we have a legacy. We left a legacy there. Brother Kabir.
That's right. That's right.
He's on it. He's on.
Right, sir.
He's on. He's on. Brother Captain Aaron.
Sir.
Yes, sir. See, the thing I see now is times have changed. Our teachings are sufficient, but the times have changed. And we have to consider the time, like the Quran says. Surely man is a loss to those who believe and do good and exhort one another with patience and what? And pray. In truth. So we have to just stay on point. And we have to stay focused. Because a lot of us, we've lost a lot of people in the last couple of years. And I think a lot of see. That's why I wanted to make sure when I'm sitting tonight, I was going to be here to see you because I wanted to see your lovely faces. So I thank you, brothers and sisters, and may Allah continue to bless you all. I leave that in I want to introduce a brother who you all know him very well. And he inherited a very hard job. I'll put it like that. I know the job. It was a very hard job. But I think this man has been in this position for over 20 years. Is that correct? Over 20 years. So he's been holding on to that job. He's been standing up with that job and withstanding the pressure that comes with being a minister in Washington, D.C. So I want to just bring before you a brother we all know, we all love, and we all want to see even more successful. Brother Minister Abdul Qadir Muhammad.
Dear brothers and sisters, in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, who intervened in our affairs in the person of Master Father Muhammad, and we thank him again for this hour that we're in, for keeping us abreast with the one that he chose to make him into his second self. And that one, of course, is the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, the exalted Christ. We thank these two great men for the last call to truth that they've known among us, growing into the Messiah, the Honorable Minister Farrakhan. I greet you all with the greeting words of peace and paradise of Assalamu alaikum. I'm honored to be invited tonight to be here on behalf of our captain, Brother Timothy Muhammad, and his wonderful wife, Sister Beverly Muhammad. Let's give them a round of applause. All praise to Allah. It's an honor to even be present among some of the present Muslims, that those that were involved in the past that made Muhammad's Muslim before very, very, very great. And it's an honor to be able to stand before you on behalf of that great work and to be the student minister of Muhammad's Muslim before. Words that I like to say today that is touching my heart. And in truth, as I looked up Brother Timothy's name, it says, honoring God in God's honor, or honored by God. And then it sends another message to me. You know, we have this word tonight that we're trying to find our places again. And one thing that we have to remember when Mr. Farrakhan begins to lead us, and he's doing that right now, is a scripture that says, love ye one another. Come on now, right? Even as, same as, equal to, always, never change, am I wrong about that? We have loved thee, the same love that Brother Farrakhan has for us personally, one-on-one. He wants that same love demonstrated, going back and forth from each of us to the other. And I know that we can do that. So tonight, we can just start right now. And it's going from table to table, to brother, sister to sister, brother to sister. Just watch yourself and do that now. And then, you know, and express your love. Is that all right? So, that's all I want to say. I don't leave room for our brother Captain, Brother Tim, to share some words with us. Thank you very kindly. Assalamu alaikum.
My big brother right there, the great Abdul Qadir Muhammad. I know time is on us, but I have to say how grateful I am to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan for the assignment that he gave to us in a private meeting, but I can tell you because it's underway right now. Brother Qadir and I were sitting taking notes and instructions from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and he told me, he said, Jamil, you go to Washington. He said, Qadir, take care of Jamil. Jamil, help Qadir. I'm going to keep my word because he always keeps his word. That's my big brother. That's Brother Abdul Qadir Muhammad. Give him another round of applause. Love that man. Did I tell too much of our business? I didn't tell too much. Okay. The next brother I want to bring to the fore is one of the original He's a brother who came to this effort from, like all of the rest of us in one way or another, from the streets of the cities of America. He's from Washington, D.C. North Capitol Street. Somewhere there. Right there. Fifth Street Northeast. Get it together. 15th Northeast. All right. Just get off the G8 bus and walk around the corner. And the X2 walk on Main Street. All right. Metro something else. But when they got the accordion buses, they mess with my mind. I can't ride them. But this brother is a brother who has earned his stripes, literally. He started with the dope busters in the original days and came up in the streets of Washington, D.C., earning respect and getting acknowledged for his integrity in these streets. That's why in his role as a student regional captain of the FOI in the Mid-Atlantic region, he serves without question in a role that brings immediate respect. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan loves this man. See, a lot of people love the minister. But if he loved you, that means you have value in the resurrection of the dead, because that's the mission that God put us on. I want you to, he's not, now, our brother's not the resurrector. That's God. But just like at the dentist's office, you don't have the dentist, you got the dental technician. This is the resurrection technician in D.C. and throughout the Mid-Atlantic region. Let's bring my brother forward at this time. Brother Student Regional Captain, Brother Aaron Muhammad.
Stop it. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Almighty God Allah, who appeared to us in the person of Master W. Father Muhammad, to whom all holy praises are due forever and forever. We're forever thankful to Allah for the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, Al-Mahdi. And we thank the both of them for our great brother, for our friend, for our guide today, in the personage of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, who is now Al-Masih, the Messiah. We thank all of them for our leadership, the Executive Council, our student captains, both MGT and FOI. I'd like to thank Allah also for my wife of 18 years, just had an anniversary. I have to thank Allah for my family. My daughter say don't blow her up. Well, I ain't gonna mention you yet, I'm gonna mention your mama. My baby mama. Sister Amina Muhammad. I thank Allah for her and my daughter, Sister Aliyah Muhammad, who would not be here, neither one of them, if it wasn't for Sister and Mother Honorary. We thank Allah for you all and give us. Most definitely, we have to thank those who helped me in my life and my growth in the nation. You know, my first lieutenant, but let me start with my squad leader first. Brother Mark Muhammad. He came up in the room when we were doing acceptances and asked me who invited me out. Nobody did. And he said, well, you were in my squad. And when we went downstairs, my first Sunday, I was standing in ranks in the drill squad under my lieutenant, the best lieutenant to me. No disrespect over here to me. The best that ever did it, Brother Muhammad. All praise be to Allah. training that I received under brother is what I use today because it is still relevant. Truth is true. But we have to talk about the first officer.
Go ahead, man.
When I first came in.
Go ahead, man.
Now he was deemed the best first officer in the Nation of Islam at that time. We talking about Brother Timothy. The best that ever did it at the first office. In his tenure as the first officer, I mean, he was already a because of the load that we were carrying and the work that we were doing. You know, I mean, he was already a captain.
Yes, sir.
You know, so he just received the title, but the work and the role was already there.
Yes, sir.
But it would be remiss of me not to give great honor and thanks to Brother Abdul Sharif Muhammad, who was the student captain in Washington, D.C., that led us under the guidance of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan through hell. And we showed the world that God was present in men and women here in Washington, D.C. through the miracles that was worked through our hands. And we thank Allah that we recognized and understood that it was God and it wasn't us.
That's right. That's right.
We give and we gave all praise to Allah, Master W. Muhammad. And we know that it couldn't have been done without the backing of Master Muhammad, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, and the honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Hands down. We couldn't have done it without the guidance and the blessings that came from them. So, Timothy, I ain't calling you Timothy. Don't jump up and try, you know, who you talking to? Hey, look, one thing you missed is I used to live in the boy shoes, right? I wouldn't say that about it. But don't forget about the wallet. Y'all remember the wallet, right? Oh, yeah, the big wallet, man. He kept that wallet on. Man, I remember that wallet, boy. And you had the salute, right? That was him. Thank you to Brother Evan and the message in the music. Soldiers who's working hard on the community, who's doing great work, who has a great program by delivering positive messages through music. You know, and I mean, we learn through music. So we thank Allah for you, Brother Evan, and what you're doing. And just like we said, whatever we could ever do to help the message in the music, we're with it. We're with the movement. Praise be to Allah. I thought about Timothy and what would be said. It's a lot to say in a short amount of time, in truth. And I thought about the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and what he gave us last week. Yes, sir. You know, the soldiers. Yes, sir. And he talked about Paul. Come on now. Right? And Paul, as we know, was a disciple of Jesus. And he took Jesus' word far and near, far and wide. That's right. As the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is doing with the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. He's taking it to every nook and cranny on the planet. That's right. And also giving us a deeper understanding of the word. Yes, sir. So we were sitting right in front of the modern day Paul. So when I thought about what would I say to Brother Tim, you know, me and a brother had a discussion about Paul's second letter to Timothy. Yeah, to Timothy. And I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I read it twice. And it's very fitting for us today.
Come on.
You know, he gave us this last week. In truth, when you read it, he gave us our guidance.
Yeah.
And what we should be doing upon his departure. Because as it says in here, in 2 Timothy, that a crowd is waiting for him. But he gave us instructions about, we gave Timothy instructions. And of course, that's all of us who sit under him as students, because Timothy was a student who Paul likened to a son, to be a son of his. But he was a key student. And I'm not going to read it all, but I just want to talk about a workman, a man that does that great work, who's approved by God. You're looking at a workman.
Yes, sir.
Who's approved by God.
Right.
What he did for us, and the way that he trained us, the way that he led us in the battle,
Go ahead, man.
out in the field to do the work of resurrection.
Yes.
It was a work that God approved of.
Yes, sir.
So when I saw this, I bore witness to it. Because we were under it.
Go ahead. Take your time.
It's beautiful because we gain life from it.
Yes.
And it allows us to live in trying times. And it helped all of us to be successful just by living, being alive.
Yes, sir.
So I thank you. Even though there may be distance, and time may go by, nothing has changed but the weather. If you ever call,
Come on, man.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
you're a great man.
That's right.
You are a great man. You helped us in our life.